What's up, everybody? This is Domingo Hero Network, and today's video, guys, I'm going to do a review of Yashahime Princess Half Demon Season 1, Episode 11. And of course, the name of this episode is called Curse of the Man-Eating Pawn. And of course, Yashahime, and you can also watch Yashahime Princess Half Demon, available now on Hulu, Crunchyrolls, and Funimations. And of course, also, guys, Yashahime Princess Half Demon Season 2 is going to be coming out in 2 months, in the month of October, which I'm very excited for and definitely looking forward to watching Season 2. And of course, Yashahime Princess Half Demon is a sequel to the original Inuyasha and Inuyasha The Final Act. So we're going to review Season 1, Episode 11. So let's get this started. So here we go. Of course, this episode, introduces us with Toa, Sensuna, and Morha. They're all hanging out with each other. Morhawk is making pancakes from a box and a pancake mix and a mini electric stove that she brought back from the modern era. Toa is sitting down relaxing while watching and listening to Setsuna playing with her violin, which she also got from the modern era as well. Of course, listening to Setsuna playing the violin, Toa is having some thoughts about her and Setsuna understanding each other from their encounter with Kinka and Jinka in the last episode. By the looks of it, Toa feels comfortable in a way that her and Setsuna were able to understand each other, even though for a moment, without having an exchange of conversations. Of course, Toa then helped out Mora with her pancakes and Mora's big appetite. She eats all three stacks of the pancakes in one bite, and not to mention she was into by check for poison. I'm assuming because of Morehouse unfamiliarness with pancakes and electrical stove, this is a conclusion she came to. Unfortunately for Morehouse, when she eats all the pancakes in one bite, she started choking on them and is desperate to get some drink. She was in a nearby pond which proves to look like a monkey and rushed to drink the murky pond water for some related. Toa disapproves of Morehouse intastes to drink the murky pond water and runs behind her and stops her from drinking that water. Warhol stops choking on the pancakes after Toa grab her and she falls to the ground. Soon after, Morha witnessed that something very unusual that happened. Toa and Seto saw a bird that was flying over the pond, unexpectedly getting eaten and swallowed by that murky pond itself. Morha expressed her state of shock. And when Toa asks what's wrong, Mora explains to her and Setsuna what she saw, but neither Noha or Setsuna believe a word Mora was saying. That she explained, trying to explain to them what happened, about the bird getting swallowed up by that pond. And Toa and Setsuna, decided to head off to the Demon Slayer place. The palace place, assumed that Mora will be going back to the Master Joyabi place anyways. And of course, at the Demon Slayer Palace where Kohaku and Hitsui are, Hitsui told us all had a discussion about the man-eating pawn. Hitsui explains that what he had heard from the villagers was that the pawn was used to use a beautiful and a strong, like a mirror, but then something that they don't know as yet started living in it, and that's why the pawn will become hungry. Kohaku as the pawn, eating everything that witnesses true form. For what Setsuna and Tora learns from Kohaku and Hitsui, the pawn eats anything that goes near it, including human, beasts, and birds. Toa and Setsuna recall that Morha explaining of the pawn before was actually the truth. So yeah, because Morha was trying to explain to Toa and Setsuna that about the man eating pawn, and they did not believe it at first. And when they talked to Kohaku and Hitsui about the man eating pawn, they actually believe it. So both girls goes off into the mission to slay whatever is of the man-eating pawn. When Toa and Setsuna reach to the area of the man-eating pawn, Setsuna sees two children who are near the pawn and run off towards them. The two children are siblings named Haikuri Miriko and Hikamaru's little sister named Chiyu. So yeah, so of course Chiyu. So Haikuri Miriko and his little sister Chiyu in the scene, Hakumiko was insistent on avenging their parents who apparently disappeared at this very pond. Chichiro does not want her brother, Hikamaru, to go to and begs him to stay because she does not want him to disappear as well before he could escape from Cherry. Setsuna catch up and grab his arm and stop him from going any further. So she was trying to stop her brother from going into that pond, but he wanted revenge on for the disappearance of the parents. So Setsuna tell her that it's too dangerous. Uspers to go for it. Toa catches up in Setsuna and attempts to Chiryu and seeing that her knee is hurt. And Toa sends her walk into the two children on the way back to their home. Chiryu explains Toa Setsuna that they lost their parents to that pond. Toa also has a talk with Hikaru saying older brothers should never let go of their little sister's hand. Toa passionate for Simele's relationship show here, and it's the sweetest thing ever with how much she cares, in my opinion. Well, in her opinion, of course. In the meantime, we see more cleaning at Master Yobi's place. Yet she has a pretty irritating that she has to clean up. Mayuga also meets up with Moroha once again, and um, Takachio is bossing Moroha around, teasing that she has missed so many spots to clean. Moroha explains her anger that she fed up with the cleaning and wanted to go and kill demons, but Takachio reminds her that she hasn't brought any heads to the master Jayubra lately. Takachio tells Moroha that if she can just pay back the advance payment master Mr. Jabari lent her, cleaning is at least she could do, you know? Yeah. That's all she can do, like, trying to see what she can do. But anyway, Toa Setsuna and Harikira and Chi are now at their homes where the two siblings lives with their grandmother. Toa intends to child wounding on her knee and places a heart-shaped banding on it. Hakumariku, and Chico's grandmother offers Toa and Setsuna to spend the night for their home and even cook up a meal for them to eat. Setsuna and Toa at this house is an idea. It's an idea for them to stay because it's too close to the pond, which is basically her reason to agree to stay with the children's home. The grandmother started explaining to Toa and Setsuna about the pond, which familiar information they heard not too long ago from Kohaku. He's speaking from the grandmother's knowledge. A saying of the muddy pond once before using medical herbs and planted those medical herbs around, and so it could be used into the pond, became murky again. Uh, Hikamaru joins in the conversation to tell Tora's sister that because of the vomit serpent, they can't go near the pond anymore. The two siblings add that they have seen the venom separate before. Chaco becomes curious about it in case Setsuna carries a violin and asks them if they can see it. Setsuna instructs, reminding them that their father used to play the one. The two simply ask Setsuna if they can just hear her play the violin, and the grandmother also insists that she played as well. So Setsuna decided to play her violin. The family of three become emotional after hearing Setsuna play the violin. Reminds them of their father who will play the one, which is another different type of instrument. For them to hear from the pond, it could appear that Hakumaru and Chikyo's father um, played the violin by the pond. That was what he became victim to the pond and swallowed it by it. Fast forward to a little in the night, and the girls are spending the night at the children's home. The family is fast asleep, and Toru who was sleeping too, wake up and sit with Setsuna outside. Toru feels sorry for Setsuna and that she is unable to sleep and assumes that the night must be long for her because remember, Toru has a discussion again because remember, guys, Setsuna she cannot sleep because her dreams and stuff got eaten by the dream butterfly. So, and of course, Toa's mission was to try to get the dream butterfly back to help Setsuna back. So Setsuna opened up and Toa and tells her it's always been like this day the night, as long as they can remember, and she doesn't see it's as hard as a hardship. So Setsuna changed the subject and think that by why did Moroha said that the pawn wouldn't want to up the bird. In the deep of the thought about it, Toa, also gave her an extension of Moroha's solution and adds that there was no mention of anything other than the pond. So Setsuna then tells Toa to get some sleep and then they can deal with one of the venom serpents in the morning. Toa wanted to get close to Setsuna, of course. Sleeping Myra at the time until Setsuna told her to tell her off and not to go near her, so she knows. And Toa is in Spain, but the essence silence. Morning comes and Morha began worry over Toa's husband because they didn't return home last night and didn't tell Morha about their whereabouts. So Morha goes looking for them and finding them in the man eating pond. Toa says the feeling Morha was in the whereabouts about the whole venom serpent in the pond. Morha is standing there helping them in the hopes of collecting the bounty and calls upon the venom sister with her sword to jump for the battle. The man-eating pawn reacts to the Morha's calling and taking the challenge to the battle with a Morha, with a blast of the venom directly at Morha. The demon attacks Morha and throws her back when the venom sword finally reveals its true form and sets her to use her Storks of Swallow attacks. The venom serpent blocks, attack on the attack on the shoot venom on the way on the same way they did to Morha. Toa protects Setsuna from blocking the venom with her sword. However, the venom still attracts Setsuna but left Toa unaffected. So Miyoga wakes up Morha by being the flea that he is, and sucking in a bit of her blood, and the itch that Morha did feel with Miyoga's blood sucking the way in, and because Morha is lying on a small field of herbs. The pawn the pawn then protects the venom serpent, and Miyoga adds that both the pawn had separate art demons. The pawn had sipped itself into the bond fixes by the pawn, with a reveal of the bottom of it. The drifting pawn demon reveals that itself, and Momohara insists to help to defeat it, but Miyoga tells her like she does not have the venom restriction like Toa. The Toa then attacks the drifting pond demon, cutting it through to the marketing water, but became weak after the water pours on her. The water pours on Setsuna, but this time Setsuna remains unaffected as it rushes to it. Miyoga also comes to the conclusion that both Toa and Setsuna had different types of venom resistance. Toa is resistant to the poison mist, while Setsuna is resistant to the venom. It is more likely that the girls enter this ability like their father, Lord Shishomaru, if so as a showman as well. So the girls restrain their attacks by releasing their resistance and weaknesses and attack the dripping pond and venom once again. Setsuna recalls Harikura and Chico's grandmother talking about the medical herbs that propose to pond water and run towards the path of the medical herbs that Morha and Miyoga currently lies in. Setsuna used her cyclone burst attack in the medical at the medical horse and ship into the wind of the attack to the pawn demon, which with the interwines hers with her attack and probably the drifting pawn. Toa then used her sword on the venom serpent and destroys it. The pawn returns to the beautiful and it clears described by Kisui. So Hakamura and Chiro meets up with Toa and Setsuna after they defeated the demon. And thanks to them for destroying it. The episode ends with the player finally actually recalls seeing the Baiwan, which is the musical instrument from Hiroko was his father before ending it, showing the once more. And the introduction so yeah, and that is it for so that is it, guys, for the review of Yashahime Princess Hat Demon Season 1 Episode 11. Overall, I have to say this was a decent episode. It's a pretty decent episode, seeing like, this battling with this man-eating pond, venom serpent, like, one person got weak from the poison, the other one does not, and then the other one got poisoned without. Of course, basically, like Toa and Setsuna, like, have, do their using their powers of the sword together and attacking the herds and all that stuff in order to defeat the demon. It's a pretty interesting story. I like how they told a pretty good story, about the two kids, about their father, getting taken away by the man-eating pond, and Toa and Setsuna, got the revenge for them and stuff. So it was great. So overall, I thought this episode was a decent episode. Not the best, but overall, I thought it was a really good, decent episode. Because I know the last episode, like episode 10, it wasn't that good, but I feel like episode 11 was a little bit better than 10. So it was a decent episode. But what do you guys think? That's gonna be it for this video, guys. So don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, and post your comments in the comments below. Tell me what you think about Yashahime Princess Half Demon season 1 episode 11 review. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Do I recommend watching this episode? Yeah, you can watch this episode because overall I thought this was a decent episode. I mean, you can check it out for yourself. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. So this is the Domingo Hero Network. All I can say is take care, have a good day, goodbye, everyone, and Domingo Hero Network is signing out. Peace.